Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you? Let me see if I can get myself centered in a little better as I'm looking through my bifocals. So we'll just take those off because it's going to create a glare for you. So how is everybody? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome, welcome. If you love what you see, by all means, please give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Click on that bell to get notified when I upload new videos, which is typically every Friday at noon right now. But there are some new things coming. Watch out 2021 because I got your number. We're going to be doing some really, really, really good things. Let's see. Where's the better way? There we go. Now it's better for you. So 2021 is coming and we will be increasing our YouTube presence. So this month for December of 2020, our focus has been the Peaceful Nativity set. This is going to be week 2, card number 2. This is the Nativity dies. From these dies, this week we will only be using the Holy Family. We actually won't be using any of the stamps from the Peaceful Nativity stamp set. We are actually going to be using Christmas Begins with Christ sentiment from the For Unto Us stamp set that I think pairs very, very well with this Peaceful Nativity. We are also going to be using a couple of our layering circle dies. We're going to be using the largest scallop here, as well as the second to the largest circle out of the circle die. So that would be this one. I've already pre-cut and stamped some of our pieces for you. But before we do, let me show you our finished project. So this is the card that we're going to be making. Very, very simple, very, very elegant. Just very well stated, but just minimal. So let me go ahead and I'm going to show you all of the measurements and supplies, the measurements you'll need. For ink, there's only one ink pad to use. We're going to be using Peaceful Nativity. Or, I'm sorry, we're going to be using Early Espresso. My apologies. There are your measurements, so go ahead and capture that screenshot now. I'll leave that up for a few seconds so you can capture that screenshot. Well, I pull my pieces out of my bag. Perfect. Hope you got that screenshot captured. All right, let's get to work. This card, like I said, is going to go together really, really easy. I've already got everything pre-cut, scored for us. Like I said, we will need our Christmas Begins with Christ stamp mounted. I have some, just off camera there, some Early Espresso ink. So I'm going to go ahead and ink up my stamp. And then right down here in this lower right hand corner, kind of in the corner as I can get it, with leaving just a little space, is where that Christmas Begins with Christ is going to go. I'll set that aside, close up my ink pad because we're all done with that color for now. You will need some dimensionals as well as some adhesive. So I'm going to set our card base up here and we're going to grab our pieces and parts. I've already cut everything out for us so we didn't have to spend time. You don't have to watch me die cut. So this is our 1 3/4 by 5 1/2 piece. I'm just going to grab, if I can uncover it here, my silicone mat. We've been working hard these last couple weeks getting our videos done and our pieces ready. So we are going to go with I'm using Stampin' Seal Plus. No particular reason. I just had it on hand and it was close. It's really about all there was to that. And then that piece is going to land on our card just right over here on the left of the fold. So it will span the whole length of the card. And then that gives us just about the same amount of border as we gave ourselves over here. We'll have on the left. So it'll work out perfectly because don't forget we still have ribbon to adhere. So for that, let's go ahead and do our ribbon next. I'm going to put just a little bit of adhesive on either end of my ribbon. My ribbon does measure in the measurements that I gave you 6 to 7 inches-ish. It matters not as long as it's more than 5.5. It's really preference at that point beyond that. So now I'm going to lay my ribbon across my card. You see this is the edge of our designer series paper. I don't want to cover that Christmas Begins with Christ, but I do want to leave about the same thickness of border. So when I put adhesive on this ribbon, I put a little bit here in the middle, but the rest of it is here on the ends, and we are just going to wrap that around to the inside. If you think you're a perfectionist, like I know I am, I'm going to actually trim up that tail just a little bit because to me it seemed a little long. So without changing the layout of the card, actually let me get my ribbon scissors here. If you don't have a second pair of scissors for just ribbon, you should. I have mine marked with a piece of ribbon, and then I have the new Stampin' Up! Charm, thank you, Megalovan, on this pair of scissors. So, okay, just added that Stampin' Sale Plus to the end of that ribbon, and now this is where we're at. This is what our card should look like at this point. I need to move over just a teensy bit because I don't want to be covering up my stamping that I just did. Okay, we are actually more than halfway done. We're getting there, guys. So the next thing we're going to do, I have taken the Holy Family die out of the Nativity dies, and I cut that, or die cut that, out of our Designer Series paper scallop circle. I am using the In Good Taste Designer Series paper. So I'm going to pull in some dimensionals because I know I want this piece to pop up, but I have also done double duty because I didn't want to waste paper and cover up that whole circle and really have some good usable space there. So that's why I die cut out of that. Thank you, Miss Violet. And I'm going to go ahead and just place some dimensionals on the back here, making sure that they overlap the cutouts of the Designer Series paper and kind of hang off onto that vanilla as well. So you're kind of adhering the vanilla circle using dimensionals. So there's no adhesive there because then that covers your space, your negative space. So you lined it up on the front, flipped it over, and see now you have everything all lined up on that side. We're going to add that circle to our card front. Again, that's going to kind of go a little bit over both sides, mostly onto the vanilla side, but you do want a little bit over there on the Designer Series paper side. Now I'm going to bring in my Tombow liquid glue for this part because I want really good coverage, and it seems to have wanted to not come out. I had a goober. My apologies. Okay, so now we should be okay. Oh yeah, much better. I like using the broad tip because then I can get 100% coverage, but in a thin layer, so that when I do put this onto my project, I'm going to get that silicone mat out of our way, bring back our card. We're going to put that on our project right here in the middle, but it is not going to have a lot of glop coming out. And yes, that's my technical term. Not a lot of glop coming out the edges of that. So we're just going to burnish that down. Now, if you do have a tiny bit of adhesive that seeps out and it bothers you, just grab an adhesive eraser, or I also like to use the Tombow Mono Sand Eraser as well. You can just give that light sand and then smooth it back out with the other end. So that is it, folks. That's all there was to it. Look at that. 10 minutes and we're done. You can very easily mass produce these very quickly with the right supplies. So let me go ahead and give you this month's December 2020 host code. So don't forget, here's the supplies that we used today, and I'll go back over them really quickly, and then I'll put those measurements up again as well. You will need layering circle dies to create this card. You will need the For Unto Us stamp set if you were going to use the Christmas Begins with Christ sentiment. You will need the Peaceful Nativity bundle. That is saving 10%, buying them together. So if you do the bundle and you want, there are a few sentiments in the bundle itself. So you could choose to totally just use one of those. That's perfectly fine. And that was it. That's it. A little bit of cardstock, some adhesives, and you are good to go. So if you have any questions or concerns, let me go ahead and put those measurements up again for you. There they are. We'll take that host code away. Actually, we'll leave that up there because that way you can screenshot the host code and the measurements together. So if you head over to stampinwithfaith.stampinup.net and order your supplies, you will use that host code there, and all of the host rewards will go to this month's hostess. If you would like to be a part of the hostess and get hostess rewards and join our card class, by all means, we meet on Facebook Messenger Party, or on a meeting room or Zoom every Thursday night. This week we will be meeting a little early, but we do meet every Thursday night, typically at 7 p.m. So if you'd like to join us, please feel free to reach out to me. My email address is stampinwithfaith@yahoo.com. I will see you on the next video. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe.